It's now officially winter here in subtropical Australia, and it's a perfect time for us to get out and plant some more veggies. If you're new here, I'm Nikki, and I'm on a mission to grow as much food as I can on our regular suburban block. We are lucky in our climate that we can plant all year round. So to avoid that feast or famine, I like to plant out one small bed each month with some fast turnaround staple veggies. If you've been following my latest updates, you'll know that I've been having some issues with seedlings getting snipped off overnight, which has set us back quite a bit. Someone in the comments mentioned that it was a greenhouse cockroach, so I did a bit of digging, and what I thought was two separate bugs is actually one and the same, just at different life stages. These guys are found in the tropics and subtropics, and they are pretty much just eating the roots of my plants. They love the humid, damp places in the garden. Diatomaceous earth will work against them, but it's hard when it keeps raining, as it still needs to be dry to get into their exoskeleton. And you kind of need to cover the bugs themselves to really have the effect that you need. As they eat the roots, I'm not sure a barrier will work unless I sort of dig it down quite deeply. But I think I'm going to try that in areas that I keep losing plants. I'm hoping that as the weather cools down, they will slow down a bit. But I think moving forward, I'm just going to have to put the chickens in the beds before planting out. And I'm going to look at maybe getting some beneficial nematodes. So this month we're planting out one of our wicking beds. This was the one that I was having drainage issues with. It had strawberries and capsicums in there that weren't really thriving as it was just too wet. So I moved everything out to check what was happening. The sand levels actually weren't too bad, but digging it up I realized my problem wasn't the wicking bed itself, but it was the water holding capacity of the soil. It was just full on clay and completely void of organic matter. From memory, I believe I filled this wicking bed up with soil from one of the old raised beds that we pulled down, which in hindsight was probably a bad move as it was likely filled with our native soil, which is of course clay. In any case, I added some more sand just to level out some of the drops that had happened. And then I added the soil back, layering in with compost, perlite, cocoa coir, and some of the old soil. On the top layer, I did add a bit of gypsum as well as some worm castings. I know that there is still a lot of clay-based soil in here as I didn't have enough organic matter to refill it. But I'm thinking with this planting, I will make sure that I do a chop and drop so the roots will create air pockets as they decompose. So this wicking bed is 1.2 meters by 1 meters, and I'm going to go in with some of the seedlings that I planted last month. It was actually only a couple of weeks ago, so they are still quite small. I've got some lettuce, some spring onions, kale, Swiss chard, and broccoli. I'm also going to direct sow some peas, mustard greens, rockets, beets, and carrot. Now this bed gets a lot of shade from the eastern side until around about 10 a.m. And then on the southern side, I do have my onions. So I'm planning on moving the trellis, which I would normally put on my southern side, to the eastern side. This way, the shade from the peas as they grow won't bother other things around. The peas I'm planting are a Massey gem. They're a pretty stock standard pea, and to be honest, not many of them make it into the kitchen. They end up being eaten fresh while I'm still in the garden. They don't get too tall, so a standard trellis is fine. From there, I'm going to start with some rows, starting with 3 broccoli plants right on the edge. You could swap these out for cauliflowers, cabbage, or kale. Next to those, in an offset pattern, I'm popping in 1 kale and 1 Swiss chard. The Swiss chard is bordering on a little bit too small to transplant, as I've only sowed these in the middle of last month, so it was a bit behind, but I do have spare, so if it doesn't survive, I will just replant. The next row I'm alternating with some direct sowing of mustard and rocket. You could go with baby spinach here, but I wanted something that is really fast growing, as these will get crowded out quite fast. Then I'm going in with a row of beetroot. You could swap these out for radish if beetroot aren't your thing. And then an alternating row of lettuce and spring onions. You could swap these out for some fast growing Asian greens if you like. The idea is for these to be finished quite quickly and free up some space for the things that will take a little bit longer to spread out. Finally, right on the northern edge, which will get the most amount of sun, I'm popping in some carrots, which I densely sow, then cover in a seed raising mix. This bed layout is similar to what I did in July last year, just slightly different positioning to make the most of the sun. In the open spots, I'm just going to pop in some leftover flower seedlings that I've got. Yes, this bed is very intensely planting, but that's just how I do things to optimize my space. And just to finish off, like always, I'll water everything in with a little bit of seaweed extract. Now, last month I planted out my onions. I've had a few losses due to those cockroaches, but I've had spares in the greenhouse to replace the lost ones, which I've been doing quite regularly. This is why I always plant more than I need. There are always some losses, so it's good to have things just to pop in. Now, the old beet seeds were definitely done. I only got a few of those seeds pop up. So I'm going to go in with another row of these with seeds that I know are good. And I'm also going to pop in some lettuce in the next row because I needed to get these in the ground. I ended up pulling out the turmeric that was growing in our fence wicking bed, and I've moved all of my strawberries here with the asparagus. I've also popped the leeks that I had in the greenhouse just in between the strawberry plants. I've had to resow some more cauliflowers again because of those cockroaches. It's kind of looking like I may not even get any cauliflowers at this point. But I guess this is the definition of insanity, but I did have heaps in the greenhouse, so I might as well sacrifice them too. Now let's get into the greenhouse. Not a great deal as I'll mostly direct sow next month, but just the stock standard spring onions and also lettuce. I actually think those cockroaches love spring onions the most, as what I've planted is completely gone. This month I'm also going in with some fennel. These typically are better direct sown, but because of the cockroach situation, I am going to plant these in trays as backup. Now, if you want to plant along with me, I have put together a bundle of the seeds that I am sowing for these monthly beds for the next 3 months, and you can grab it over on my website. This bundle has a lot of warm season crops in it as we transition over in August, so it's a good one to grab. Anyway, that's all we're planting this June. We're keeping an eye out for seed potatoes, so I'll probably try and get some of those this month to plant out next month. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.